Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for race number 5 for the Wagoner's Welding Super Speedway Series. Talladega Speedway with the trucks. These guys have just finished qualifying. So exciting news there. Outlier TV tonight. I'm Robert Warren, your host. Chris taking a little work vacation. Well, not a vacation if you're working, but Chris won't be up in the booth tonight. Sad tears only. These guys got one fast repair, 60% fuel limit. There's a little typo there, but 170-degree track temp shouldn't be a really big problem. We got 30 trucks in the field for race number 5. There's going to be a lot of exciting action for this 50-lap battle tonight. And, we'll take a look at the points and the top 3 finishers. Epic finish last week. And I think tonight's going to be the same kind of caliber of racing that we saw for the first 4 races. 3 different winners over the 4 races, but let's go ahead and take a look at our starting grid for right now. On the pole, Sanchez with Richardson on the outside. Row 2 is Beacon and Schroeder. Row 3, Barker and Parson. Row 4, Bynum and Decker. Row 5, Overstreet, last week's winner, and Barry Tolson. Row 6 is Shu and Hogue. Row 7, Hurst and Wheeldon Sr. Row 8 is Minter and Ramsey. Row 9, Cobbs and Foster. Row 10, Moore and Thorens. Row 11 is Ledford and Cardoso. Row 12, Don Francesco and Seabrands. Row 13, Steele and Sprinkle. Row 14, Copperthorne and Dan Park. Row 14, Straminski and Wagner. Row 15 went to sleep, but that would have been Ramsey, I believe, and Hogue. It's coming down the back stretch. These drivers are going to want to pull their belts tight. Get ready to rock and roll for this green flag, brought to you by Wagoner's Welding, Precision Fencing Gates, and Ipswich Bay Soapco. Our sponsors, making it possible for you to view Outlier TV in its 4K fashion. So make sure you're clicking like and subscribe on the broadcast and the channel, but also clicking that gearbox in the bottom right-hand side where you can watch this race in 4K. So we're going to be bringing you all the sass. One less beautiful voice tonight, but I'm sure you guys will only have sad tears with mine. So taking quickly, this pace truck's about to duck in, but last week's winner, David Overstreet, newcomer Travis Decker in the 114, and Tolleson are last week's top three. Well, these guys get ready to rock and roll for the green flag, so we'll be watching out for those drivers. Green is out. Sanchez gets a good start with the 18 of Viken on his bumper. Richardson rolling up in that second groove with Schroeder. Not sure. Oh, we got a yellow already. What the hell? And to my fallen comrade,
hey,
you know.
What happened?
Go ahead and figure out what happened on this. That was an awfully quick restart. We're taking a look at the 16 of Mike Straminski, and we're just gonna click play here. Oh, looks like Mike missed a shift. I'm gonna back that up because, you know, we're gonna have a little bit of sweet time. The quarter speed fast enough. Play the sound here. You can hear that truck rev up and slip into neutral, so I'm not sure if Mike's going to be having to use a fast repair there or not. Go back to live action. Guys are going to be driving around to catch the pace truck. Shout out to all the viewers tonight. We got 23 people watching. I'll be doing my best to navigate the chat while Chris is on a work function. Gonna be a little lonely up in this booth for me. So back to our top three finishers. So, you know, last week we had a great race. Battle down to the end. The 68 of David Overstreet grabs that win with Decker finishing second and Barry Stretch Tolleson in third. The 2 weeks before that, we saw newcomer again, Seabrand's back-to-back wins, and Sanchez in the second spot, and Wagner in third for that third race, and then Don Francesco and Hurst for the second race. And then Steele, a series champion, grabs the first win with Baker and Schroeder. So Super Speedway Series here definitely has a plethora of talent within its ranks. A bunch of cars coming down, or trucks coming down pit road. Get some info on that later on, as some damage did occur, but very interesting to see the amount of drivers and the possibility for these drivers to grab wins. We take a look at the point standing. So this is after 4 races for the Season 10 championship. The car 24, Nicholas Don Francesco, currently tied for 4th with 65 points, sitting about, what was that, 7th? About, was that a 4-way tie? You got to squint one eye. There's so many 4s there. a four-way tie for fourth with 65 points is last season's champion Nicholas Don Francesco there. But Seabrand's currently leading the points. These are going to start to swap around each week as this 12 race schedule has 2 drops in it. So let's take a look at the schedule one more time. So this is race number 5. Race number 6, we're off for a week next week. So we're going to be taking a week off. There won't be a race August 3rd. We'll be resuming August 10th for 75 laps with the ARCA car at Echo Park. And then on August 17th, we're going to be doing a Dash for Cash, $100 to win in the 87 cars, which is going to be a handful for these drivers at Talladega. So you're going to want to tune in for that for sure. And then we're going to be smashing out pretty much every weekend in August after that pause until the first weekend in September. Going to have another week off there, and then finishing out the schedule pretty much straight after that from the 14th, the 21st, and the 28th, crowning a champion on the 28th for the Season 10 championship. So it's going to be super exciting. You're going to not want to miss that. Pretty much no change in the starting order with these drivers. Down the backstretch. I think Sanchez is due for maybe a win. Helping Seabrands quite a bit. Finished on the podium in second spot, but hasn't got his own win yet. Topless Tim Richardson in the 2 machine on the outside. We've seen him dance around the front quite often. However, luck is not Topless Tim's friend. Trucks have about 19 laps of fuel, so we saw a few drivers come down the pits to top up. That's going to kind of swap the strategy around if we get to go green. Green is out. Sanchez gets a good start on the bottom again. Barker has a little bit of a gap behind him. That's going to allow Richardson, Schroeder, and I believe that's Decker in the 3rd car back with Shu. Sanchez moves up to that second groove. Schroeder gives him a little push on Richardson and gets them shuffled slightly. That's Parson pushing Barker on the bottom with the last week's winner in the next Netflix-sponsored 68 machine of Overstreet. Sun is shining. These trucks are glaring beautifully coming down the front stretch. 2 machine of Richardson drops to the bottom. Definitely a lot of racing to happen. Taking a look at the 70s machine of Cardoso. Newcomer, first race at Roughneck Racing, the Wagoner's Welding Super Speedway Series. 3 wide, the 24 of Nicholas Don Francesco. Looking for a little room, trying to get up front a little bit more, but the majority of these cars, nose to tail, are 2x2. We're about the top 20. We'll be live again Wednesday night covering the Truck Series for their 5th race. We're going to pull up the schedule just in a second. Be going to Nashville Super Speedway. Awesome battles going on there. Fuel strategy has been the name of the race for the last 2 races at Chicagoland and Vegas, where, you know, we saw some crazy pushing and saving to capture those wins. So causing drivers to kind of rethink everything. 3 wide, Vegan goes under more than the 118. Moore's trying to get up to his partner, the 114 of Decker. Needs a little help on that 3rd line. Taking a look at Sanchez up in the lead, doing a great job. Taking a look back from his gearbox, you can see that he's got Schroeder with the bump draft. Like that, he lifts off of them just going into the corner, but it looks like these drivers are electing to stay in the 2nd lane and allowing the others to move around and look to push on the bottom. We know that the 2nd lane can be the strongest, but I'm thinking you might see some frustration from these drivers if they elect to hold that 2nd lane. You might see a 3rd lane start to form to try to get outside of them. And right there you see Sprinkle on the outside trying to push that inside groove down. He's got Wagoner, Welding helping him. Not seeing the unicorn power of Tolleson. Just a solid pink trunk threw me off today. Sprinkle does a good job of holding down the previous leader, Sanchez, to get a run. That 2nd groove now held by those trucks on the outside. Steady as she goes. Lap number 11 underway. We got the 3rd group forming. It looks like that's Chris Ramsey on the outside. Ramsey getting some help from the 24 of Don Francesco and the 31 of Cobbs. Little shot on the entry there from the 24. That 3rd group's rolling. Little early to be getting this sweaty. Getting tight as they're going down the front stretch. Ramsey tight on Tolleson. And Overstreet getting a big push in behind. He gets down to the bottom. That's the 7 of Dalton Steele. Still 3 wide through the middle. Looking up a little bit further. Decker still in behind Welding and Wagoner. Guys are battling tough. Decker slides up in front of Ramsey, gets a little bit of a run on Welding, but they're 3 wide. just about everywhere. Wagner's Welding, the Super Speedway Series, putting on one heck of a show. Let's see how long these drivers can keep up this momentum. Lots of room on Talladega to run this way, as long as there's no slip-ups. They can look now at some of the pit stop strategies that we saw. See, a bunch of the guys up front elected to grab fuel, so 10 laps since pitting, but some NAs, that means they haven't come in at all. Sprinkles now our current leader with Wagner in behind. Schroeder pushing hard on Sanchez. More on the outside Decker on the outside needs a little more push from the 13 of Ramsey. So interesting to see some of the strategies here. Some taking fuel, some not. Great drafting down the backstretch into turn 3. Pop around, take a look at some of these other cars. Topless Tim and Ben Parsons drop to the back. That's a 21 of Foster on the bottom with the 00 of Steven. 31 of Cobbs in front. Wait for the obstructions to get out of the way. The 69 is Lorenz with the 25 of Minter there. Guys, looks like they're just kind of waiting, but like there's really not a lot of room to move around. Last season's champ in the Super Speedway Series is that 24 Don Francesco. We talked about him a few times. The Forest Seabrands, 2 wins on the season. Currently sitting 15th. Last week's winner is the 68, but the 58, Cutie Patootie Johnny Hurst, no doubt about it, voted the sexiest man in all of iRacing. Good checkup there. Drivers do a good job of backing it up. You saw Dalton Steele get off the bumper of Barry Tolson. On the outside there, it's Ben Parson. We talked about him. It's crazy, you know, we're cycling through these cars, and then all of a sudden, you've got a new leader that we haven't even talked about. That's the 01 of Jeffrey Ledford. Looks like he forgot to turn back on his sim stamp numbers or hide car numbers, so we can't see that exactly 01. But shout out to 3J Printing, his sponsor on his truck, part of Foothill Sim Racing. So partnered up with Barker, Ledford, and Shoe. Good run for Ledford. We don't normally see him leading this early, but we know he's got speed in the Super Speedway package. You know, but these drivers, as they bounce around from different cars, whether it's the ARCA, the Next Gen, or these trucks, they all got slightly different aero packages. So interesting to see. Seems like a lot of the racing has settled down, moving from that 3 wide to 2 wide racing. On the outside there, that's a 77 of Sprinkle trying to get a charge. Amazing feat so far, coming from 26th to 4th. Guys have really settled down, letting the race come to them. on the 12 machine of Bynum. Seen Bynum in the R&R League battles that happens on Friday nights, but also runs the Thursday night series for Chrome Horn Racing. He started 7th. It looks like he's waiting for that notorious big one to happen, and it could happen at any time. But he's got a beautiful view of the field should something happen. Sitting in behind him, though, Eric Copperthorne in the 98 truck. One of our series sponsors, Ipswich Bay, on the hood of his truck. And in behind him is Mike Straminski. Known for his chubby fingers. And it looks like we got pitch strategies happening. And bounce around. I mean, awesome perspective. You can see from the hood of Straminski's truck how those guys got into pit lane. And it's smooth as butter. I mean, normally I keep my butter in the cupboard, so it spreads easy on toast. But it looks like the bread was so hot there, it wouldn't have mattered if the butter was warm or not. Fuel only for the 01 of Ledford. You can look at Schroeder, also fuel only. 5 of Sanchez, fuel only. Seabrand's there in the 4, fuel only. These guys are going to be the ones we need to watch out for. New leader, which is one of our old leaders, is 77 of Sprinkle. We got the 3 of Dan Park on the outside with help from the 24. Wagner and Sprinkle shoot down to the pits. Got to get it woed up to that 55 down pit lane. Wagner doing a good job of getting in his box clean. Go ahead and hop right in. Oh, Sprinkle slides the box. That's going to be a little costly. We're going to see the other guys drive away. You see the 30 of Wagner drive away. He might lose the draft as he comes out of the pits. That's the 13 of Ramsey in front of him. The 2 of Topless Tim. And it looks like they might be okay. Oh, Tim gets a little loose. Oh, man. Go back up with our leaders. We got Dan Park and Dalton Steele, 1-2. We got, oh, Blake Waffles Vegan, the only vegetarian in the field, trying to taste concrete as a meat source alternative. I don't know if that's what you want to do on pit entrance. Honestly, let's back it up. He might have got some help. And the verdict is, it's just a skill issue. That's going to definitely hurt him. He's going to need a caution. We got Copperthorne coming in as well with Straminski. We're going to go back to live action. Dan Park, our leader, with Dalton Steele pushing him. All these drivers coming in hot to trot. And then what's going to happen here? These guys are going to have a race. The race is going to be with Sanchez, Wagner, Ledford, Schroeder. This is the first pack of trucks that will catch the ones in the timing tower showing his pit. Coming out at turn 4. You see that pit entrance. See Steele and Park already away. Oh no! Yellow flag is out, and that happened right in front of that pack. Not sure if Cobbs got loose, because Cobbs was in that pit cycle. Not what we wanted to see. Oh. Disappointment and sorrow. Oh, man. So right now, if we would have stayed green, these drivers only had about 18 laps of fuel. They would have had to make another green flag pit stop. This is going to put them kind of in that window of, going in, splashing up. Really depends on if another caution happens. But there's going to be 20 laps to go, 25, 23 laps to go after we resume. But let's go ahead and,
Hey,
figure.
what happened?
Gonna have to figure it out alone. I feel so lonely without Chris. Told me to get the soundboard working, and I didn't. But let's take a look at our Outlier TV instant replay. So the 31 of Cobbs coming out of the pits. We call him Cobb Daddy, Scrub Daddy Cobbs, from one of his previous paints. And you see, he just goes down to that minimum speed, spins right in front of that trap pack of cars where we were kind of monitoring them to see where they came out. But that's going to bring out our second caution of the night. Scrub Daddy Cobbs juicing it up. Man, that one hurts my heart. So Dalton Steele, since the caution came out, he beat Dan Park out of the pit lane. But let's see what happens if they're all going to come down and top up for fuel. It might be the strat here because we're going to be close on fuel. And it looks like we have a few electing not to. You see in the tower on the left-hand side, very stretched Tolson, Big D, Nicholas Don Francesco, and we ain't got a name for Welding yet, but we're working on it. Stayed out along with the newcomer, the 70 of Cardoso. I mean, we need to get him in the booth to make sure we're saying his name right. But we're going to work on it. It's a work in progress here. Halfway through the race, second caution of the night. Gonna give a quick shout out to series sponsor Wagner's Welding. Roll a commercial. Outlier TV will be right back.
At Wagoner's Welding, craftsmanship isn't just what we do, it's who we are. For over 25 years, Wagoner's Welding has been a family-owned business built on honesty, hard work, and treating every customer like family. Whether it's custom truck beds or ramps, heavy-duty fabrication, hydraulics, or precision repair work, every weld and every detail is crafted for strength, reliability, and long-lasting performance. We don't cut corners, we build quality that lasts, because your truck needs to work as hard as you do. When you want value, craftsmanship, and custom work done right the first time, choose the team that treats you like family. Visit Wagoner's Welding at 446 DeHart Church Road in North Wilkesboro or call 336-670-3427 to see how we can get your job working for you. At Wagoner's Welding, craftsmanship isn't just what we do, it's who we are. For over 25 years, Wagoner's Welding has been a family-owned business built on honesty, hard work, and treating every customer like family. Whether it's custom truck beds or ramps, heavy-duty fabrication, hydraulics, or precision repair work, every weld and every detail is crafted for strength, reliability, and long-lasting performance. We don't cut corners, we build quality that lasts, because your truck needs to work as hard as you do. When you want value, craftsmanship, and custom work done right the first time, choose the team that treats you like family. Visit Wagoner's Welding at 446 DeHart Church Road in North Wilkesboro or call 336-670-3427 to see how we can get your job working for you. At Wagoner's Welding.
All right, lights are off on the pace truck. LR TV back in the booth. I'm Robert Warrens. Chris Schuessler on a work trip. We miss him dearly. R.I.P. Chris. Come back soon, baby. 2 cautions so far tonight, so, we're kind of set on pace here. I know these drivers don't have enough, but the advantage of pitting here is that they are not going to need as much fuel should this stay green and they need to pit again. So, instead of taking, 1 point, I think it's 7 gallons is the minimum, or 3.4, because it goes in increments of 1.7 gallons. They're going to need that lesser amount. That lesser amount of fuel means less time in the pits, which could be the difference of being at the front or the back of the pack when the draft comes out. So something to consider. Wilson is going to be the control car for the second restart of the night. Race truck getting ready to juggle off. Chris is in Texas too, so he should probably get a quote from Precision Fence and Gates. I mean, last week we only had 2 cautions. Each week the amount of cautions has been dwindling down. I mean, we could go to the checkered flag from here. It's going to be a tall order, but trucks are on the way again. Tolson gets a great start. Don Francisco matches the energy on the start. Big D energy on the outside. Drivers settling in. Go ahead and maybe look at the cockpit of Welding as he pushes Olesen. Good run for the 5 machine. Managing the gap. You can get pretty aggressive with the trucks to push, but also managing a little bit of a space helps make them go faster. Pull up some tower telemetry. Right now, the estimate would be that these guys need to come in at around lap 40 to top up for fuel to make it the rest of the way. The fortunate thing about if there is a green flag stop, since the pack of, 3 or 4 trucks at the start of that restart, is they won't go a lap down. Little loose for Tolleson as Welding gets tight, so they won't go a lap down, and the advantage of that is if there is a caution, they're just going to shuffle right back in order. Big checkup from Welding. He's cautious on getting on the bumper of the 28. We're going to jump back to the 4 machine of Seabrands. Getting a few spots back. He's got Schroeder and Sanchez in front of him. Top speed 185. A lot of lifting right now. These guys aren't pushing too hard. They're managing the gap, managing the throttle. Slow and steady here as we wind down the laps with 21 laps to go when we cross the line. Wagoner with Hurst and Park on the outside. Looks to be a very slim pickings for drivers using the 2nd and 3rd lane right now. 98, a Copperthorn on the bottom side with the 00 Steven Shue. But it appears about the first, I would say about 10 to 12 trucks, all single file. The 30 machine of James Big Doug Wagner making the moves with Copperthorn on the outside. They're starting to inch up. We're going to maybe see another truck or two jump to that outside. but still just not a lot of pushing left. Francesco jumps to the high side, but they say nah, and keep charging high. Beautiful view. Shout out to TrackCams22 for all these beautiful camera angles. A bit of overcast setting in. It looks like it's getting darker. Take a look at some of the weather. See if the weather, I think we started at 106, 107 track temp. Cooling off at 100 degrees now. Shouldn't really impact super speedway racing, but just kind of alludes to why we're seeing the color change in the sky. And slowly that second group working the outside, inching up slowly as we're going to start to approach that pit cycle. Second groove slowly working up. Still they're on the outside of the 70 of Cardoso with Overstreet in front of him. Nice shot. Drivers just logging down the laps for race number 5. Giving you a perspective of the pressure that's on that 98 truck as he's working with the 30 of Wagoner. He's got the 10 machine of Bynum below him. On the outside, QP Duty Hurst. And Park now working the outside. A bit of shuffling in the field. But still, like, the top with 8 are single file. And last week's winner is on the bumper of race 2 and 3 winner, the 4 of Seabrands. Current leader, the 28 of Tolson, got Welding Sr. on his bumper with Rick Sanchez in behind. Take a look at our pit stop stats one more time. And some drivers coming in already. They're short pitting. Very interesting strategy here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the drivers pitting. You got Sanchez, Schroeder, Overstreet, Threns, Cardoso, Seabrands all in the pits. Looks like it was a team call to say, hey, let's break away from this pack. If carnage happens, we're nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found. Great pit stop from the 5 and the 4 machine as they get out nose to tail. Schroeder and Renz also together. Overstreet a little bit further back. Same with Cardoso. And it looks like we got more pitters. A big hoopla cars. I don't know if we're going to see a black flag for that 28 of Barry Tolson. He came in super hot. Welding coming in the pits. 24, Don Francesco, Barker, Jew, Ledford. Oh, man. I wasn't expecting this early of a pit stop from these drivers. But here we are. Anything can happen in the Wagoner's Welding Super Speedway Series. We're seeing it meow. These drivers should have about 5 more laps of fuel. If they were smart, they would be single file and just pushing hard. One of the things that we're going to have to consider here is if they are working against each other, are they faster than the different packs of trucks? So we're going to try to dissect that in a moment. We're going to look at the last lap time around. That lead pack doing 52 5s, a couple 53s, but the fast trucks are obviously going to be the ones, setting the pace. So we got Hurst up in the front. Got to wait for another lap for these guys to get settled. Going to take a look at Sanchez. They're not up to speed yet, but a 3-truck draft is not going to be the sauce. Oh, so last lap 52-2. Call me a liar and spank me silly. Looks like Sanchez, Seabrands, and Schroeder are running faster than the lead pack. So as these guys battle up front, they're losing time to these next 3 trucks. These 3 trucks would be the next leaders. Should green flag pit stops happen with that lead pack. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next group of trucks. A little bit further back. They need to cross the line here for the numbers to update. So 59 was their out lap. Let's see what they get to at the line. (52.6). So this second or the third pack of trucks slightly slower than our leader. So you can see that 0.2 gap. These guys need to do a little bit better of a job of locking in, focusing, and make sure that they're nose to tail pushing hard. And there's more battling up front. Dalton Steele, our current leader. But if this is to go green, I don't know if that third pack is going to be fast enough to catch the second pack. But still, Talladega, super speedway action, anything can happen. 11 laps to go before we're talking to our top 3 finishers tonight. And it looks like that's the first pack all coming in smooth again as they all enter the pits. Great driving by the drivers of Roughneck Racing. That's going to put Sanchez, Seabrands, and Schroeder in the lead. But that third pack has sucked up, caught the air of the second pack. So going to be a handful. The pack after that, it looks like Tolson's the last one. The Renz and Stu, Foster, Sherminsky, Overstreet, Cobbs, Bynum, and Cardoso all in that pack. But we're going to have to watch what happens here. This pack, if they get greater than a second over all of these trucks, they're going to lose the draft. And you can see the segregation of those trucks on the bottom. Dan Park moving up. That is Decker in the 114. And it looks like they're all going to be in the mix. Oh, Steele making his truck wide as they enter into 3. They're 3 wide right now. Sanchez moves up a little bit, but he's got Seabrands and Schroeder in the middle groove. Don Francesco, Welding, and Copperthorne on the 3rd lane. 4 wide in the front stretch. I don't know if anybody's got any hot sauce left, but everything's on the track. Copperthorne around. And that's going to be our 3rd caution of the night. You saw that one live. We're going to back it up. We don't got any firm car contact, but that's going to bring everything together. It's going to try to understand what happened. What just happened? So, going to go a little bit faster. See, Copperthorne comes down a little bit, touches Sanchez. And then it looks like Sanchez, I think he almost thinks he's clear, but he's definitely not. He's going to tag the left rear of the 98 of Copperthorne. Send him around. Unfortunate for Copperthorne. The good thing there is for Copperthorne is I don't think there was any damage to that 98 truck. He's just sliding and driving. Back it up one more time so you can get just a feel from that driver's perspective in the cockpit view of the 98 of Copperthorne. Looks like the 5 of Sanchez was just trying to side draft, and that air sucked him in. These trucks and the aero package, they've really changed how they work on the track. So once you're close to somebody, it kind of creates like a vacuum. I don't know if you own a Dyson, Filter Queen, whatever brand, but there's a lot of sucking power on these aero packages for the different vehicles. The truck especially has a dirty one. Oh, 3rd caution of the night. That's going to reset all the racing. Copperthorne's going to come down the pits here. We're going to stay with them, see if we get a tire strategy. Like he's just using damage. Oh, there goes the tires. So, looks like Copperthorne employing a strategy to say, hey, fresh rubbers might help me work on the outside. Interesting enough there. Gonna have to watch and see how it works out for him. Our current leader, the 24 Big D, Nicholas Don Francesco. Last season's champ, season 9 champ, looking to get his first win of the season for race number 5 here. And that's going to be a negative friend point for the 24 of Nicholas Don Francesco. I'm not seeing an Outlier TV logo on that truck. That's going to be a -1 friend point for the 24. I don't know if that's going to go against his championship points or what, but yeah, I don't know about that, bro. Go ahead and see if we can figure that out. BlackRock, I don't know about all that. Not seeing an OTV logo on there. I'm just gonna have to call his painter. Not cool, dog. Not cool. But anyways, good run for him. Let's take a look at the laps led tonight. That's always important. We've seen a bunch of different race leader so far. So 13 lead changes. We've had 3 cautions for 8 laps so far. We're almost moving into green-white checkered territory. And, you know, I thought we were going to see lap sled here, but I guess that's a different button. Let's take a look at that. Sanchez, most laps led, tied with Barry Tolson. They're currently 26th and 10th. Big D, Nicholas Don Francesco, 6 laps led, and Adam Sprinkle, been known to show his hoses, also tied with Big D. Lights are off on the pace truck, and they're gonna get ready to go. So I mean, we're winding down to the wire here. These drivers are definitely gonna have enough fuel. Maybe not if we see GWCs. They might have fueled too tight for that, but only time will tell if we see somebody come down pit lane. I'm hearing some clutching. You might not be able to hear it, but I can hear it. Clutching there. Let's bounce around. And whenever you see 300 RPM, that's what we're seeing right there. You're seeing the clutch being engaged, and that is the bore machine of Sebrands showing the clutch. See if we got Dan Park. Clutch for him. 114 a Decker. Clutch. Olson's ready to rock and roll. You see those RPMs super high. He's already in that race gear. You put it in R for race, but we're getting ready to go green. Time to start talking, start watching. Third caution of the night. Green is out. 24 gets a good start with Sebrands in behind. Welding doesn't fire off as well as... Oh, no. Oh, no. Hearts are broken tonight. Probably not what anyone wanted to see. This might put us into GWC territory. But we're going to have to put on our detective caps. I don't know if you're a Columbo fan. Yeah, that tells you how old sometimes people are. Reference a show like that.
Hey, what happened?
We're just going to figure it out, meow. Taking a look at our replay. Looks like we get away. That's the 118 of Moore on the outside. It looks like Foster misses a shift in the 21. We're gonna go ahead and grab his camera. The 70 of Cardoso gets Sanchez turned around. Strominski gets a little love tap. He loves the love taps. Anytime somebody touches him, it makes him giggle. But we're going to go ahead, grab the 21 machine. We're going to back it up. Ooh, hard in the wall for Sanchez. We're not even fully up to speed yet, but not sure what happened there. So go ahead. We're going to grab the cockpit and listen to the motor. And you heard the RPMs. Let's listen to it one more time for fun. But there was a stack up of the field, so these guys are accordioning. And as the accordion, you hear the engine scream. I wonder if the tower telemetry is going to work here. Let's grab that. And we're going to listen to the motor because we got time. These cautions take about 3 minutes. Gonna see the RPMs if it works as I expect. you can't shift when you're, you know, at $6,000. But one other perspective we'll take a look at is the 5 of Sanchez. I know he's going to be frustrated. He needs a good finish. But this is what it's going to look like from his perspective. Doesn't look like he got hit too hard. Right rear damage on that. Masturbator for sure. Back to live action. No, he's going to be coming down the pits. Nobody's going to want to pit here. They're going to be clutching and saving. They don't want to give up track position. So whereas, you know, last restart, we saw people clutching and saving. This is going to put them closer into that fuel window. And it's actually going to be our first GWC. So drivers will have 2 attempts to get it done and get it done right. But Don Francesco, Season 9's champion, hasn't had a win so far. He's been close in second on race number 2. But the 4 machine in behind him, Seabrands, 2 wins already on the season. Dan Park, he's been a winner in the truck series. Let's bring up our truck finishes. And Park won last week at Chicagoland on a crazy fuel strat. Also got second place the week before on another crazy fuel strat. But you can see Barry Tolson peppered throughout those truck finishes as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent in both the Monday night series and the Wednesday night series. Lights are off on the pace truck again. This could be the final laps of race number 5. A lot to think about for these drivers. I think if the drivers are able to lock in, get it done here, if we see the white flag, race goes official. And we'll be talking to our podium finishers, our top 3 finishers of the night. So those sponsored by Ipswich Bay Soap Co. and Precision Fence and Gates. Ipswich Bay, beautiful website. Check them out. Buy your loved ones some soap. Even if your relationship stinks, they don't have to. Probably should be branding on their website. Eerily silent. Taking a look from the fans. No fan cam. Oh, there it is. Way up in the the bleachers. Getting ready to go green. Restart zone. Great job. Seabrands putting on the show. Drag race down into turn 1, door to door for the 4 and 24 with the 5 and 3 in behind both of them. Schroeder wants to push the 5 of Welding up tight. And they're 3 wide down the backstretch. There might be 6 wide, but I don't know. Oh no! That's Cutie Patootie Hurst, and The biggest one happens, and that's going to be our yellow. I'm not even sure where that started. That's going to be a tough one to call. Oh, man. We might see drivers clutching. But here we go.
Hey, what happened?
What just happened? Gonna go on board with the 70 machine of Daniel Cardoso. And it's happening up already with the 58 of hers. Let's back up a little bit. Try to figure it out. So Hurst gets a little loose there. We're seeing a checkup, but there's a lot of momentum from the cars in behind. Olsen gives Hurst a little bump. He gets squirrely. And it looks like the bump sent Hurst squirrely. Let's go into the cockpit of Johnny Hurst. In just 1 second, you see Sprinkle gets caught up on the bottom side. Driver's scrambling. Topless Tim doesn't go fully airborne. Coppathorn involved. Man, there's a lot of bent up trucks, but I mean, perfect time for a shameless plug for Wagoner's Welding. What keeps them in business is these bent up trucks, that's for sure. But let's go ahead, back that up as Overstreet there in the 68, last week's winner, pushing Hurst to the wall. But I think this is what's going to allow us to see what Johnny Hurst is experiencing from those taps in behind. There's one tap, and yeah. So it's definitely unsettling the truck. Oh, Lorenz just not where he wants to be. We're going to go back to live action. We got guys coming down the pits to fix their damage. And that one's a heartbreaker. Topless Tim coming in, getting that truck squared away. We'll see if he has a fast repair here. And just like that, new rubbers, new nose. So yeah, fortunate part about the Super Speedway Series is that there is a fast repair. Since that was our first GWC, if we see another caution, the race is locked in official, it freezes the field. Seabrands, our new leader, got around the 24 of Big D Energy, Nicholas Don Francisco. Season's 9 champ. Not where he wants to be on this restart. It looks like the 4 of Seabrands might be locking in on the fuel save stretch. Let's pop in his cockpit. Yeah, you can hear that car shutting off. I was getting in trouble if I call it a car when it's a truck and a truck when it's a car. Don't yell at me. Wonder if Seabrands is going to have enough to stay full throttle. We've seen him win 2 races this season already. He's no stranger to victory lane. The 24 truck, no season, no stranger to winning a season and a championship. Park in the 4 spot has had an impressive run in the truck series. And also last week, we saw the 114 currently in the 6th spot grab a 2nd spot. We've seen the 93 of Barker on the podium. The 7 of Steele, former champion, and has already won a race in Season 10. And Wagner, I'm pretty sure we spoke to him, and he was ecstatic about finishing 3rd. So, I mean, pretty much just a star-studded lineup in our top 10. And really, it's going to be anyone's race. Got Schroeder up there. We didn't even talk about him. He's been a threat. Ledford. He's led some laps tonight. I mean, anything can happen here. I'm excited. You're excited. We could be excited together. No hand-holding. That'd be weird. Especially over the internet. Lights are off on the pace truck. Funny story for Precision Fence and Gates. I've got a neighbor. We've got fences. Anyways, I got rabbits that like to come in my backyard. So we were out, weeding our backyard because we got pristine grass. If you don't love your grass and remove the weeds, you don't love yourself. That's what I heard. A great person told me that one time. I don't know who it was. Anyways, purpose of the story is that the bunnies had dug a hole into our fence, and they live under our deck. They live under our shed pad. And my neighbor put a paver stone to block the bunnies from coming into my backyard. So I saw that on the weekend. I actually pitched it in a not so nice way on his property. I hope he gets the message. If he covers that hole again, I might have to burn down his house. I mean, that might come across aggressive, but I love the bunnies. My cats love the bunnies. My wife loves the bunnies. My backyard is for the bunnies. Yeah, so anyways, yeah. If you got a neighbor and you don't like them, build higher fences. Precision Fence and Gates. The final restart of the night. The fifth caution. Seabrand's electing to take the outside. You know he's going to fire off like a champ here. 2 wins on the season. And he does. He launches. He's got Dan Park in behind. Decker in behind him. Those 3 are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Dan Park drops to the bottom right into turn 1. I don't know if that's the secret sauce. Oh, Decker drops to the bottom. Seabrands wants some help. And we're 3 wide down the backstretch. That's Barker in behind Seabrands. The side draft is real. Wagner in behind Barker with Schroeder. Race becomes official. If we see that white flag, they'll race it out to the line. They need one more truck in that second groove to make it viable. And the race is official. Who's got the royal flush for the win tonight? Wrecking in the back. Oh, man, that sounded like it hurt. Topless Tim Richardson, Shane Moore, all the off-tracks coming. Side draft engaged. Seabrand's got a little help from Barker. They're edging up on the outside, on the backstretch. Dan Park doing a good job with Decker in behind. And hard pushing from the 93. Woo! Buckle in for an Outlier TV finish. We waited 50 minutes for this. Seabrands getting pushed hard. Drag race down the back stretch. Well, that's the front. Seabrand's going to lock in as a winner with Barker and Park. And somebody's on the roof. Oh, man. You know, these guys kept it clean. Hats off to them. For race number 5. Seabrands, woo. Gonna be going live again in about squint one eye, 30 minutes, less a couple. 9:05 p.m. for Extreme Forces Racing League. 80 laps at Indy. Race number 22 there. Before we do that, we're going to be interviewing the top 3 drivers. Race number 5 in the books. And 34 people watching. And that was the finish that we expected from the drivers of Ruff Racing season number 10, Wagner's Welding Super Speedway Series. Race number 5 completed. Talladega in the trucks. And you can see the celebration from Seabrands going down. Gonna take a quick breather and then do some interviews.
At Wagoner's Welding, craftsmanship isn't just what we do, it's who we are. For over 25 years, Wagoner's Welding has been a family-owned business built on honesty, hard work, and treating every customer like family. Whether it's custom truck beds or ramps, heavy-duty fabrication, hydraulics, or precision repair work, every weld and every detail is crafted for strength, reliability, and long-lasting performance. We don't cut corners, we build quality that lasts, because your truck needs to work as hard as you do. When you want value, craftsmanship, and custom work done right the first time, choose the team that treats you like family. Visit Wagoner's Welding at 446 DeHart Church Road in North Wilkesboro, or call 336-670-3427 to see how we can get your job working for you.
All right, out of our TV back, I'm Robert Warren's up in the booth solo. I don't like doing it alone, but here I am without Chris. Here without you, baby. Time to interview Dan Park, though. Bring in the three machine of Dan Park, Dan Robb up in the booth. I'm alone tonight. Keep me company, baby. Tell me about your race and grabbing the P3.
Well, it's my first race with him on Monday, so I was like, I'm just gonna go out here and have fun. Started in the back and had some great pit stops with the guys I was working with, and came out up front.
Yeah, and we've watched you on the Wednesday night in the truck series. Did you feel like some of that knowledge that you've gained from the Wednesday night series helped you navigate some of the draft here?
Oh yeah, with the trucks, it's all about keeping your momentum. And for some reason tonight, the third lane had no momentum, so you couldn't use it. We tried for a little bit, and then once they made pit stops, I was able to push Johnny in the middle straight to the front. It's like, well, we can't do the outside, but we can sure take the middle.
Yeah, and we saw certain drivers try to protect that and get it done. So it was interesting to see that third groove really wasn't viable because we didn't see a lot of three wide racing. We saw two wide, and then we saw a shuffle. So as soon as it got three wide, the air seemed to like pull the one lane back. But I don't know, P3 tonight. You got to feel happy about that. Are you going to start to become more of a regular for the Super Speedway series here?
It matters on if I practice for the other Monday league that I'm loading into right now, actually, as we speak. So I just wanted to run this one because I knew it would be something entertaining because I like the super speedway stuff and I like the trucks. And starting in the back with those guys is just fun. Me, Dalton, and Adam basically ran together most of the race, and Johnny. So it's entertaining working with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a skill to navigate the teams that push each other and whatnot. So you're not in the points mix for this. I think it's a notable finish for you, and you kind of showed your skill. And if you make it back out next, you got a week off. So if you make it back out in 2 weeks, we're going to be at Echo Park in the ARCA car for 75 laps. ARCA is a different beast completely. Do you think you're going to be making a showing for that if you get some practicing in?
I might make it back for the ARCA race. We'll see.
All right. Well,
I enjoy the ARCA cars. I'm not a big fan of Echo Park, but so we'll see.
I mean, it is what it is. You can't love them all, but you got to catch them all. That's what they say about Pokemon. Dan, who do you want to give a shout out to for your third place finish tonight?
Shout out for you putting on the broadcast, Johnny and Tim for the league, of course, and then all my friends and family that I have watching. My mom, who's always there,
Shout out to
even for
moms.
this race, she was there. And look forward to 80 more at Indy.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting race. Probably 30 or so cars in the field for the Gen 6. So, Dan, grab some refreshments, stretch your legs. That's going to be a long battle.
There's 31 in the session, just to let you know.
Oh, man, I'm sweating already. Well, congrats, Dan, and wishing you all the best of luck in the next race.
Thank you.
All right, that was our third place finisher. We're going to be bringing in our next one in just a second. The 93 of Chris Barker. got one podium so far in the Monday Night Series. Now this is your second one, Chris. How you feeling about your second place finish tonight? You're kind of like the bridesmaid with 2 second place finishes. Are we gonna see?
Yeah,
Are we gonna see grab a win this year, or like what's up?
probably not, man. This is not really my forte. I'm super nervous in these races. It's super speedway racing. I'm always afraid I'm going to cause a caution, and I've been struggling in the trucks, man, since they changed the aero package. And I decided to take the steering ratio down to 8-1 tonight, and it was money, man. I felt good all night.
You're rocking an 8-1 box at a speedway.
Yeah, it's funny. You think it'd be the opposite, like super touchy, but it just kind of locks in, man. I don't know. With 12-1, I'm just all over the place, but
That's
I felt
crazy.
good there. Shout out to Doug Wagner coming to the white flag there. I pushed a little too hard, and I seen Doug back up, and I'm like, oh man, I was pushing too hard. I should have waited on the run, and so I kind of backed up, and he got a good run. I thought he might go outside, but he pushed me back to Rick there, and I was able to push on him. So shout out to Doug.
I mean, you got to give Big Doug some love. I mean, hats off to you tonight for second place. Did you feel like you would have ended up where you did if the race stayed green and we didn't see a caution? Like, because we had a couple cautions, we saw green flag pit stops. Did you think that your I guess your crew got you out in a good spot to contend for a win?
Honestly, probably not. I was pretty content. I really didn't even want to qualify. I just kind of wanted to ride in the back, hang with the buddies in Discord. I wasn't looking for nothing special. I'm drinking beer, and if you're in the back and the caution comes out, you can park it and go pee and come back. You're not worried about keeping your position. So I was kind of looking forward to that. But we ended up in a good position there after that last pit stop. So I just stuck with it, man.
I mean, the happy juice might be the secret, but you're the Precision Fencing Gates second place finisher of the night, Chris. Who do you want to give a shout out to for your glorious finish tonight?
I want to thank Roughneck, man. This league is awesome. I mean, they really have something special here. Shout out y'all guys. I was just telling the other guy there, Rick. He's new. He just found the league. I was bragging on y'all. Y'all are the best. You really are. I'm not just saying that. I've seen a lot of broadcasters been in a lot of leagues. Y'all are the best. Shout out my teammates, Jeffrey, Steven, Chris Phillips, Alex Foster. I mean, we're a tight group, man. We work great together. Man, I don't even know the sponsors this season. Shout out to everybody that's sponsoring, though. I know James Wagner, obviously. I really hadn't looked
Precision
at the rest
Fencing Gates, Ipswich Bay
Precision
Soap
Fencing
Co.
Gates and the soaps.
Ipswich Bay
Thanks,
Soap Co.
They couldn't do it without y'all. I mean, it really is awesome to see these companies step up and sponsor these races, man. Make us feel legit. Bunch of grown men, playing on our simulators, but it makes us feel like real drivers. It really does. Got to shout out the wife. She's in the house watching. She was actually in my ear there a little bit. She's been kind of quote unquote spotting for me this year. She likes to watch me race, and she's keying up and telling me all the dumb shit that I'm doing, under caution. So shout out to her.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important to for somebody to give you a reality check, and
Yeah.
even if it's the wife, and she probably should hit you sometimes too. I know
Yep,
mine
yep.
mine does, and it's a safe place to share. So if you ever need somewhere to vent to, Chris, just reach out to me, and I got you, baby. It's okay.
I appreciate it, brother. On that last caution, she told me, like, what are you doing? Lock in. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was right on them. So I'm not sure. I guess it looked bad from where she was sitting, but.
I mean, you came away second. Hats off to you, and Chris, all the best of luck on your lucky juice in the future races.
All right, thank you, sir.
Take care.
You too.
Time to bring in our winner of the evening. 3 wins on the season. I'm impressed with his driving. Newcomer to Roughneck Racing, the Wagoner's Welding Super Speedway Series, Rick Seabrands. 3 wins on the season. How's tonight feeling? Did you think you were going to get it done?
No way. I thought we were cooked. Me and the 3, we had such a really good. I was hoping the 3 would get a good restart on the outside there when we started there, but boy, he got one hell of a restart, and we really set sail there. And then once he cleared, I wasn't terribly worried. But when Chris got back to me, and then he kind of lost his momentum, and the way that low line was just so hooked up, I thought we were cooked. I really thought we were going to be lucky to get a top 5, and that low line was just going to sail on us. But credit to Chris and Doug Wagoner, I think that was back there behind Chris. Yep. Man, they both did a tremendous job, and that energy, it just felt like I had a push to pass or a turbo or something, man. And we just took off on that high line, man. So awesome job by Chris and Dougie. And whew, I didn't think we were going to get this one tonight.
Yeah, it looked like and it's rolling through now, is it looked like on that restart, you had an excellent fire off. Park and Decker checked out to the bottom side on you quick. And
Yeah.
you're right, Barker and Wagoner stepped up. But, just watching down the backstretch, that side draft from this truck is, I don't know, crazy, because you made up like 2 truck links
Yeah.
in
It
in no time at all.
It's such a valuable tool to have with these trucks. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think I was by myself at that point, and those 3 were all lined up, really,
Yeah.
really nose to tail, and we was at least maintaining, maybe pulling just a little bit, but it was like, boy, once Chris got there, he did all the hard work for me and got us this win tonight for sure.
Yeah, he was locked on you, and he did a great job of pushing you at the end. So, I mean, next
Doug
week
too, man. Doug, it needs with these trucks over here and anymore with super speedway cars. It's really not even your pusher anymore. It's the pusher that's pushing the pusher.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really that has to do the hard work there, man. And Dougie did a phenomenal job back there, man.
Yeah, he's been known to get sweaty on the super speedways, so I'm not
Yeah, he did
surprised, with the company that you had, that they were able to get it done. Next
Yeah.
week, well, we got a week off, and then we're going back on the August 10th for Echo Park in the ARCA car. You think we're going to see win number 4 this season? Are you going to, take a break from winning? Like, what's your strategy going into race number 6?
Well, I'd love to say we're going to show up and win again in Atlanta, because I love Atlanta. Atlanta's kind of it just kind of fits the way it is, and it just I really like it a lot. But those ARCA cars are just kind of a handful in themselves. So I mean, it's going to probably be anybody's race. It'll probably be track position again. And name of the game will probably be missing the chaos, because there's not a lot of opportunities to pass at Atlanta, and that backstretch gets real narrow real quick back there. So
Yeah.
I mean, if there's an accident back there, it's you're usually going to get some kind of damage in it.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a trend of the cautions. They started off really high in race 1. We trailed down into race number 4. We only had 2. This week we had 5. Echo Park, it does create tight racing, and you're absolutely right. It's narrow. So
Yeah,
anything can
very
happen
narrow.
really fast, right?
Absolutely, but it's I love Atlanta. Hopefully, the ARCA cars haven't been the best for us, but hopefully we can get it turned around and put up a good effort for Atlanta.
Oh, you got 2 weeks to figure it out, but tonight you're
That's
the
true.
Ipswich Bay Soapco winner of
That's
race
awesome.
number 5. So, who do you want to give a shout out to for your 3rd dub on the season?
First off, I gotta give a shout out to Wagoner's Welding for sponsoring the whole season, for what they're doing for us and getting this broadcast, and you guys actually broadcasting, even though it's a mediocre broadcast, as I hear. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's the rumor.
That's the rumor. So we got to thank you guys and all the fans at home that are supporting us and watching all this action.
Well, congrats again, Rick. Pleasure watching you navigate the field tonight. I know, yourself, Sanchez, and even Schroeder, doing all you can to get locked together. And
Yeah, it's not easy, man. These guys it's a fierce bunch out here, and
Yeah.
it's definitely not easy. That's for sure, man. It's a really good league. A lot of hungry drivers, a lot of respect out there too.
absolutely. Well, congrats again. Hope to be talking to you again soon. Enjoy your little 2-week break. You can master the ARCA
will.
car.
All right, I will. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, take care, buddy. All right, winner of the night. You heard it from him. Going to Echo Park in the ARCA car in 2 weeks. That's going to be super exciting as we start to, wind down. There is a holiday in Canada for my non-Canadian friends, so that's, we're respecting all nationalities as we take a little bit of intermission. The following week after that, we got a break in the truck series, so it kind of aligns with it. Super exciting there. You can see that they're drafting to the end. We do have to roll through some stats as we wind down for tonight. So we're going to take a look and recap what happened tonight. What happened? So fastest lap goes out to our winner. Fastest lap goes out to our winner, Our Charger Award goes out to our third place finisher. Most laps led seems to be like the stat you don't want. So Nicholas Don Francesco, 11 laps led on the night. I think he tied with Tolson, finishing 6th for Don Francesco, but 14 different lead changes for 11 different leaders. Awesome job by these drivers to kind of show the diversity of skill in the field to get it all done. I was excited to see it. I know you guys were excited to see the amount of action we had throughout the field with these trucks at Talladega for race number 5. Seabrands, great job. Barker in that second spot. Dan Park in third. Fourth goes out to Decker. Grabbed the podium last week. I thought he was going to be victorious. Even Dan Park won last Wednesday in the Truck Series. Wagoner grabs the 5th spot. You heard Seabrands and Barker shouting him out. Don Francesco 6th. Schroeder 7th. Led for a good run for him in the 8th spot. Wheeldon in 9th. And Sanchez in 10th, rounding out our top 10. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight for Outlier TV's coverage of race number 5 for the Wagoner's Welding Super Speedway Series, sponsored by Wagoner's Welding, of course, but also Ipswich Race Hub Co. and Precision Fence and Gates. One in Massachusetts, one in Texas. And like I said, if you have stinky relationships, they don't have to smell stinky. You can hit them up on Ipswich Base Hub Co. Check out the website. They deliver across the USA. And then also, if you're in Texas and want to keep your neighbors and loved ones out of your property, get a quote from Fat Fingers Mike Shermansky from Precision Fence and Gates. I'm Robert Warrens. I'm signing off tonight. Going to be missing my best buddy, Chris Schusler. All the love to the people watching, and catch you guys in about 10 minutes when we go live again for EFRL Gen 6 Series at Indy for 80 laps. So peace and love. See you Wednesday night if you tune into the Truck Series at Nashville Super Speedway.